Okay, so new sweatshirt. It says GG. You wanna know why? You wanna know what it stands for? Can you read that? Good girl. But I felt like, I know it's not pink, so it doesn't kind of go with the vibe of Valentine's Day, but I felt like it went with the vibe of the video. Good girl? I mean, hello. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, hi, hello, my name is Katie, and I have been battling sickness. So if you're new here, this is not typically, like, my voice is pretty much back to the way it is. It's still a little, like, deeper than it usually is, but I feel like it kind of goes with the vibe of this video, you know? A deep, manly voice. We're going with the vibes of what I'm talking about today. So happy Valentine's Day for those of you who celebrate. The singles, the non-singles, the mingles, whatever you are. Happy Valentine's Day. A few weeks ago, I asked on my Instagram and my community post to tell me your favorite fictional men. Who are the men that titillate you, get you going, who you wish that you could just pull from the pages and have them right here in your life every day? And you told me. So I have a list of these men. So I thought for Valentine's Day, we would just go over them. I would share them with you guys. I'm going to try to find fan art of them if I can. If not, I will post a picture of like the book so you guys can see. Some of these I have not read, some of them I have, so I have an idea of like why you may have chosen them, but some of them I haven't read. We're just going to, some of them I have not, and that's okay. You do you, boo. So we're going to start with the first man that's on my list. These are in no particular order, but I will let you know that there was one person on this list who was named 4 times. And when I get to that person, I will let you know. If you have a guess down below who you think was like named 4 times. I'll give you a second. Do it? Okay. So we're going to start off strong, guys. We're going to start off strong with, I feel like this person is everyone's book boyfriend at some point in their life. And we're talking none other than Mr. Rhysand from the ACOTAR series. I understand. I can't remember who put this down, but I get it. I get it because he is a book boyfriend of mine also. Like, look at him. Look at him. And it just, he's a smitten kitten when it comes to Feyre. Like, he would do anything for his high lady. He loves her. He adores her. And isn't that like what we want in our men, to love and adore us? Like, he's just also, like, I already know, like, I don't need to look a picture because I've looked up fan art before, so, like, I don't need to look him up to know what he looks like, or at least what people think he looks like. If they ever do the live action of this, I'm sorry, but no man is ever going to compare to what I have in my head of, like, what he looks like. Good luck, but it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen, because, hello, right? Yeah. Next on the list was none other than, I think you say it, Rhys Larson. And if I'm not mistaken, I do believe this is from Twisted Games by Anna Huan, which is book 2 in the Twisted series. So this was a bodyguard princess romance. So I'm assuming that he's a bodyguard. I did not look up his fan art yesterday, so I don't know if anyone really has drawn him, but I know that people make like Pinterest boards of said books. So we're looking it up. We're looking him up right now to see what people think he looks like. Okay, yes, he's a fictional character. Yes, I know that. Okay. So we've got like the original book cover, because the original book indie cover was a male. So I might put that up there just so you can like see what the book had. But I'm seeing a lot of pictures, and hello, he is my type. He is my type. Tall, dark, and handsome. Okay, I can see it. I can see why this would be a book boyfriend. Because one, he's a bodyguard, so you know he's going to take care of you and protect you. And two, he's gorgeous. So that's all you really got to say. Have I read this book? No. No. And I know. I know I'm being judged by Paige right now because she always tells me I need to finish series. And I know, I just never do. But just by looking at him, I have a feeling he may be my favorite. He may just be my favorite. Okay, the next one was one that I thought there would be more of, but there really wasn't. And that is Josh from Lights Out. So let's see. I don't know, can we like kind of see what he looks like here? Okay, not really. There really is not too many people who have done like art of him. But here's like an AI, so maybe this is like what they think he is. Okay, so he's like tatted. I know he wears a mask because like he's a masked TikToker that she's obsessed with. Okay. 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 I can see why we would be like, he'd be a good he'd be a good book, you know, fictional boyfriend. I need to read this book. And by read, I mean listen, because I hear that like listening to the book is so much better than actually reading it. So I need to listen to it. But I have a feeling as well that I'm going to be obsessed with this book, just like everybody else is. Okay, next we're going back to the Bat Boys, and we have Azriel. I assume this was from ACOTAR. It just said Azriel, and that's the only one that I know. But I know there's also like a book of Azriel, but I'm assuming you meant this one. Fingers crossed, because if not, I'm so sorry. But look, I mean, just come on. Our boy Azriel needs his own book. Like, I'm looking at you, Sarah. I'm looking at you. And I want to know where book 6 is of this series, because I want it now. Like, I just want it now. But yeah, so we have Azriel. He's more like, how do we explain? He's like, he's strong and loyal, but he's also like quiet. He's not as loud as like I feel like Cassian is. But you do not speak to Azriel's high lady in anything but with like reverence and respect, because he will let you know. He will let you know, do not speak to my high lady that way. And that's all I need to know. That's all I need to know about him. Still gorgeous. Like all three of these Bat Boys, extremely, extremely gorgeous. I don't know how she does it, Sarah. I don't know how you do it, but you make gorgeous guys. Okay, the next dude is the most. He had 4 responses with being everybody's book boyfriend. So I am assuming that he's a good one. So that would be Xaden from the Fourth Wing series. I don't even know what the series is called. I'm just calling it the Fourth Wing series. I have not read this. I have no interest in reading this. I'm not big into fantasy other than like the ACOTAR series. That's like that's where most of my fantasy stays and goes, and I'm okay with that. However, after just looking at some of these pictures on Google here, you know, you just Google his name and these art prints come up of what fans have put, I can see why you all would be very affectionate toward this man. I mean, one, he has a dragon. There you go. And it looks like he's got tattoos on the one side of his body. He's got body, you know, so I could see why you guys would be, you know, God, this picture right here. He's not real. He's not real. But if he was, hi, hello, sir, you know. Okay, anyway, but he was mentioned the most with 4 mentions altogether. So props to Xaden and props to Rebecca for writing such a good looking guy. Okay, next we had Lorcan, and I was like, who's Lorcan? So I had to go to Google, and I was like putting in Lorcan, and apparently he is from the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J Maas, which again explains Okay, she writes all these men that are amazing. Anyway, so I was like, makes sense. So I'm looking. So I started looking. I'm like, okay, he's giving me vibes of like, oh, I don't know, like a hunter. Like he's got like this long hair. He looks mean, but like mean in like a good way, like a good mean way. Like he'll protect you. And then I was scrolling a little bit last night just to kind of get some information on him, and it said he's a demi fae. And then I thought to myself, are you telling me that the Throne of Glass series has fae in it? Because I did not know. I did not know. I just thought it was like a fantasy, but just like set in another world where like they had maybe have powers, but they're just like normal people, you know. I did not know they had fae. So if you've read the Throne of Glass series, please tell me, are there fae in them? Because I own them. I own the series. I always put it off. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to like it. If there's fae in it, I may dislike it. So please help a girl out. Let me know. But from the pictures, I can see why. Everybody would, you know, this person would be like, yes, Lorcan, because I mean, right? Okay, the next one, I know who wrote this. I know exactly who wrote this. This next one is Kellen from The Devil of Dublin. You know who you are, who wrote this. I know who you are, and it totally makes sense because I knew you were going to say this person. So I have read this book, and if you're going to read it, listen to it, because the guy who does the voice is a true Irishman, so the Irish accent is fantastic. And I get it. Like he's a bad boy, but he has trauma. He's gone through a lot in his life to get to where he is, and I get it. I get why he would be a book boyfriend. I can't remember a lot about the story, but I do know that he went through a lot as a kid, and he's just very protective, loves his woman. Can't remember who the woman's name is. Doesn't matter because this isn't about them right now. But I can see why. I can see why this man would be. And I don't even know if there's any art. I don't see any art. I just see the book cover. So I don't see a lot of fan art, which saddens me. But I mean, just look at the guy on the cover. And picture him. Just picture him. It works. Okay, so the next one was Colonel Brandon. I think that's how you say Colonel. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm totally like not saying that right. But it's from Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. And I was like, who? I have never read this book. I'm sorry. I don't do classics, but I know of it. I just don't read them. So I had to look. And of course, there's not really any fan art. But I looked last night and I'm like, wait a dang second. So I know that there's a Sense and Sensibility movie that came out in the 90s with my queen, Kate Winslet, in it. So I was like, okay. And I don't know if it looks like they're actually the ones that get married in the movie. I have never seen the movie because, again, like I love her, but it is what it is. And then I was like, okay, well, who played him? And then it turns out it's none other than Sir Alan Rickman. And I was like, sir. So while Alan Rickman may not be my cup of tea, I can appreciate a good actor. So I assume that he probably did justice to this role. I know nothing about Colonel Brandon. I am so sorry. I don't know a thing. But if he must have some sort of attribute that you would want him to be a book boyfriend. So to that, I say, if you like classics and haven't read this, read it, see what he's like, or watch the movie. I might watch the movie. I know, I said what I said. I may watch the movie just to kind of see what kind of person he is. But I mean, Alan Rickman. So I know either way I'm going to have a good time. Okay, next, I don't even need to look this person up because I'm going to think about who played him in the movie. We have 4 from Divergent, and I'm sure there is book art. I am sure there is fan art of this man, but I am going to look at Theo James. And I'm going to let you guys look at Theo James as well, because I think that's the reason why he was created, was for me to look at him. So we're going to do so. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yes. So again, Divergent, if you don't know, isn't like a post-apocalyptic movie where people are set into sanctions based on like your personality. So we've got like the Dauntless, we've got Oh gosh, who do we have? Erudite, Abnegation. Oh, who was the other people? Candor. There was another one. But you're all like based on like your personalities where you go. And 4 is part of Dauntless. They're like the rebels, they're like the army. And the main girl goes to Dauntless and kind of falls in love with 4. And if he's played by Theo James, how could you not? How could you not, right? Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome for the Theo James picture. Okay, next was another one that I could not find a picture for, but it's Reggie from My Vampire Plus One. So I'm going to put a picture of the book here. I assume he's a vampire. I know. I am stretching it. I don't know, right? I don't know much about this book. I think it's book 2 in like the series where like the first one was like my neighbor's a vampire or my roommate's a vampire or something like that. But if he is a vampire, I could see why you want him as a book boyfriend, right? Like, hello, Edward. Hello, like, Damon, you know? So, like, I can see that. Haven't read the book, but I wanted to include him because he's somebody's book boyfriend. And I want to make sure that I give all the men all the love. Okay. Next up is one that I don't need to look up either because I've read this book, so I know what he looks like because I've looked up fan art. Thank you very much. None other than Hades from Neon Gods by Katie Robert. So I have to tell you something. I was looking up art last night just to kind of refresh myself, and I was looking at this guy and I was like, holy schnapps. I have someone in my life who looks just like this man. Just like this man. Like, I'm looking at the fan art and I'm like, oh my gosh, you look like... And I was like, how nice of me that I have someone actually in my life that looks like that. But I digress. Anyway, we have Hades. This is Hades and Persephone retelling. And this is an erotic book. Just know going in, it is erotic. It's not really romance. It's more on the erotic side. A lot of like voyeurism, a lot of exhibitionist stuff goes on in here. So if that's like your cup of tea, you would really want to check this out. But he like falls head over heels for Persephone, and don't we want all our men to kind of like fall head over heels for us? I would say so. I would want that. Plus he looks like that. So like it's a win-win. It really is. Okay, next up is a book I have never heard of before. So we're going to look this up. This is Lucky from Lucky's Trouble. Okay. Okay. By Misty Walker. And again, there's no art print for this. However, if you look at the guy on the cover, you're going to get an idea of what this guy's going to look like from, you know, in the book. And it looks like it's an MC romance, motorcycle club, for those of you who do not know. And it looks like he's tatted on one side, which we love a tatted man. He looks dark like haired, broody. So I don't really know much about Lucky, but apparently he's got trouble. Dang it, Lucky, what's the problem? But no, MC, you know, you're always down for a good time. Like, you know, like MCs, they're gonna be protective. They're most likely gonna be loyal because like they're loyal to their MC. And I could be totally wrong. So like if you're the person who said this, don't come at me. That's what I'm just going on my vibes here, okay? But usually in romances, that's how it is. So will I have to read this to find out? Maybe. I've never read Misty Walker, so who knows? Okay, next is Dane Davenport from The Favor. So I looked him up last night. Looks like this. This is the book cover. So apparently he is a CEO billionaire. And he needs his assistant here to be his wife for 12 months. And I say this to you, sir. If you looked like that and asked me to be your wife for 12 months, I would say yes as well. Plus, you're a billionaire. Think of the books I could buy. So this is someone's book boyfriend. I can see why. He's a billionaire and he's good looking. Like, is there much else that you need? No. Don't lie to yourself. There's not. So there he is. I looked at the cover for like a few minutes yesterday and I was like, yeah, I can see why this will be a book boyfriend. Okay, next we've got Tristan Miles from The Takeover. He is right here. there wasn't like a lot of fan art, but there was like AI art. So I'm like, I'm giving you guys the AI art because they just look too dang good. I have not read this book. I have read book 1, which was the stopover. I know this is number 2. But from the vibes that I was getting from like Pinterest boards from this book, I think I'm going to love it. I think I'm going to love it. I do know this is a single mom romance, and he is a billionaire. And she's like, I don't know if she's ahead of the business or the business she works for, but he's coming to take over, hence the name. But they're going to fall in love. And if he looks like that, I can't fault her. I cannot fault her for wanting to fall in love with this man. Next man on this list was named Bodhi. This is Bodhi from Only for You by Melissa Foster. One, I love Melissa Foster, so whoever said this, thank you for like suggesting a book from an author that I don't hear anything about, but I love Melissa Foster. And 2, Bodhi has body. This is Bodhi body. This is Bodhi the body. You see this cover? Do you see this body? This is Bodhi body. He got body. And I know this is only the person in the picture, but like I would hope that he's representing Bodhi in the book, and Bodhi's got body, so like I could see why he would be a book boyfriend from just the outward appearance. But I'm sure he's a great guy inside as well. But right now I'm focusing on what I see on the outside, and right now it's Bodhi body. And then coming down, we're rounding down. We've got the last of the Bat Boys. You think I was going to leave Cassian out? There's no way. I cannot leave Cassian out, and neither could you. So we have Cassian here. Number 3 in the Bat Boys. He is, to me, he's like the wild one. He's fun-loving. He's just like a big puppy dog to me. We saw him a lot I feel like I have more to say about him because like he had his book with Nesta, and while I'm not the biggest Nesta fan, I can appreciate her story, and I loved seeing Cassian in that book. So to me, he's just like a big teddy bear, big puppy dog, like will protect you, is loyal. He's got a wingspan. You know, they all got wingspan, but you know what I mean. So like, you can't go wrong with like any of these. Like if I had to pick a Bat Boy, I'm gonna pick my Reese. Like he's my ride or die. But I mean, all 3 Bat Boys are just chef's kiss. The next one is, I think his name is Evan. Yeah, okay. So we've got Evan Bailey from Unraveling Him, which I did not know or did not realize this was part of the Bailey Brothers series from Claire Kingsley. And then I come over here and I look at the cover and I'm like, ooh, hello, Evan. Hello, Evan. Because, again, he's got body as well. Like, these men and their bodies. Can we not? I mean, actually, can we? Actually, can we? So, I don't know a thing about this book. I have not read this book yet. I've only read book 1. But I don't need to read anything to know that man is gorgeous. So I don't know why he's a book boyfriend. But again, I'm going off of what I'm seeing. And I'm like, I can see why he would be a book boyfriend, you know? But I'm just giving love to the men that you all chose. And I wanted to make sure that I showed everybody, even if I haven't read the book. So give it up for Evan. Give it up for Evan. And then the next one. Oh, this hurts my heart. Okay, the next one is possibly, beside Reese, my top book boyfriend. This isn't my answer. I didn't put any of my book boyfriends in this, but if I had to choose, him and Reese would be top. And that is Dom from the Ravenhood trilogy. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, you need to know. If you haven't read that trilogy, just read it and just go in blind and trust me. Trust the process. Trust the journey. He will be your book boyfriend too, okay? He loves rainy days. He loves just like sit with you while you read during rainy days. He's just, he loves cars. He's everything. And he's gorgeous. And Dom. I love Dom. I do. He is definitely a book boyfriend. And I just want to stare at him a lot, you know? I just want to stare. And I just want to look. Yeah. And then the last man, the last book boyfriend that was chosen by you guys was none other than Tobias Rhodes from All Roads Lead Here. Now, I have not read this book. However, when I looked up the picture, when I looked up like what AI had chosen for him or what people on Pinterest had chosen for him, I was like, why haven't I read this book? Why haven't I? Because excuse me, gorgeous. Gorgeous. This man is gorgeous. So I bet you, I just think I put that book higher on my list to read because of him. Yeah. I do know what it's about. Like, I've heard other people talk about it, so like I'm fully aware that it's, it's like a grumpy sunshine. They don't get off on the right foot, but you know what? That's my cup of tea. I love it. So there you go. Tobias. He's the last one. So there you go, guys. Those are all the men that have made our Valentine's list for this year. These are the men, our fictional men. I'm sorry. These are the fictional men that we love, that we wish were in our lives for real, that we just love to go back and visit and reread and just gush over. So if you didn't get a chance to tell me who your book boyfriend was, let me know down below. Or if you just want to gush a little bit about your book boyfriend, because maybe I didn't know too much about him, leave the book title down below and a little like why he was your book boyfriend. Or if you just want to leave me an emoji to let me know that you were here, leave me the heart emoji because it's Valentine's Day and we've got to do it. If you are new here and enjoyed this video and want to see more content from me, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you just enjoyed this video altogether, be sure to give it a thumbs up. It really does help my channel. My social media is linked down below as always, my Goodreads and my Instagram if you want to follow me and be friends over there. And for my next video, it should be my book haul for February and January. I'm just putting the two together. And then the one after that should be my March TBR. So that's what you guys have to look forward to in the next couple weeks. But I hope you all are having a fabulous Valentine's Day or whatever day it is when you are watching this. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.